Hello everyone. Let us see how to create a simple stamp logo in Illustrator. So let us start. So I have created an A4 size landscape document. So I will be selecting this ellipse. So let's turn off the fill and let's activate the stroke, and then let's hold shift and create a perfect ellipse. We can slightly increase the size of the stroke. So we can keep it to 6 points, right? Then the next thing we'll do is we'll create one more ellipse, and we will use Ctrl C and Ctrl F, or if you are using Mac, we can hit Command C and Command F to create a duplicate of this ellipse, and we'll paste the duplicate on top of the original, right? So we have created another duplicate which is sitting exactly on top of this ellipse. We will use Alt Shift and drag the corners, or in Mac Option Shift and we will drag the corners. So something like this, right? So Alt and Shift is center scale, right? So now the next step we'll do is we will unite these two strokes. So first what we'll do is we will convert these two strokes into normal shapes. So what we can do is we'll simply select the outer stroke, we'll go to object and we'll select expand, and then we'll select the inner stroke and then we'll go to object and then we'll select expand. Right, now we'll select the inner stroke and the outer stroke by holding shift, and here we have the pathfinder. In pathfinder we have an option to unite these two objects, and in case pathfinder is not already open, we can always open the pathfinder from window menu. Right, so we will simply unite these two strokes or shapes, normal shapes, right? So now these two are a single object, right? So now what we'll do is we will create a cut in the middle. So for that what we'll do is we'll just select a rounded rectangle, and then we will just create it exactly at the center of these shapes. And in case these shapes are not exactly at the center of the document, we can select these shapes, and here we have an option align horizontal center. Just click on it and we will put all the shapes at the center of the document, or we can say artboard. We'll make the shape into a capsule. Right, now it looks like a capsule. Now the next thing we'll do is we will create a cut using pathfinder. So where is pathfinder? So here is the pathfinder, and in case pathfinder is not already open, we can always go to window and just open the pathfinder. So let's now create a cut. So we will select the capsule shape, and then we will simply hold shift and select the outer circles, and in pathfinder we have an option trim. Just we will click on the trim, and then we will use the direct selection tool, and we will just select this capsule and then just move it outside. We can simply delete it. Right, So we can see we have created a cut, right? So the next step we are supposed to do is we will create one more ellipse. So simply we will just hold shift and create one more ellipse. We can just click on this align horizontal center so that the circle exactly aligns to the center of the document, and we will simply use Alt Shift or Option Shift to center scale the ellipse, and then we will convert this ellipse into a stroke. So we will simply click here, swap fill and stroke, and now we have an elliptical stroke. So the next thing we are supposed to do is we will cut this ellipse. We will cut this ellipse into two halves. So this time we will not be using the pathfinder to cut. We will use the scissor option. So we'll just select the direct selection tool. We'll select this particular point, and then here we have the option cut path at selected anchor points, and we'll do the same thing. We will select this left side anchor point, and then we will just click on this scissor icon which says cut path at selected anchor points, right? So now we have two strokes, or we have cut the circle into two halves. So we can just move them. We can just increase the outer circle a little bit, right? And we will just move these two circles carefully, right? So the next thing we are supposed to do is we have to put a text on this particular path or this particular circle, or we can say stroke. So for that, what we need to do is we have to select type on a path tool. Here we have the type on a path tool. Just select it, and then just we need to click over this particular path, right? So some default text appears. We'll simply hit backspace to remove the default text, and we will type our own text. So we'll just type best in price, right? And we will increase the size of this text. We can use Control Shift greater than in PC, or Command Shift greater than in Mac, right? So then we can just make it small, and we can adjust it properly. We can use impact font, or we can use any font, but for me impact is the best font for this particular text. So we can just adjust this properly, and we will make it small. Just we will use Control Shift less than, right? And we can use the direct selection tool to position the text. So just we can place it in a proper place, right? Now this looks better. And also we can just increase the text a little bit, right? This looks better. So we have to just spend some time and adjust the text properly till we place it in a proper position, right? Right. Then the next thing is See, we can ungroup these outer circles. So simply we can just right click and ungroup, and then we can just move the inner circle a little bit inside, right? And also we can just move the text and position it properly, right? We can use arrow keys to position the text properly, right? Now we'll do the same thing. We will put a text on the bottom circle or bottom path. So what we'll do, we'll again use the type on a path tool and just click, and see, here is the problem. So the moment you click on the bottom path, the text is not appearing properly. So what we can do is, we will first remove the default text, and we will just type best, and we will just use the direct selection tool, and we will just move it over here, and we will first continue typing. We will complete the matter here. So best in choice. So but one thing is, the text is not appearing properly, it is upside down, so we have to change its direction. So for that, what we are supposed to do is, we'll simply go to type menu, and in type menu we can see type on a path option, and type on a path option, if we scroll down, we can find this type on a path options. So we'll just open this type on a path options dialog, and over here we have a number of options. So what we are interested in is, first we have to select the effect as rainbow, and then we will just turn on the preview, and we will also click on this option, or we will turn on this option flip. So see, now the text is appearing properly, and we have to do one more thing, that is here we have an option align to path, and we will select ascender. We can also try descender, we can also try center, but let's stick to this ascender. Okay, now this looks better, and we will just click OK, and then what we'll do is, we will just select the type on a path tool again, and we will create some spacing here, right? And then we will use the direct selection tool, and just move the text and place it properly. So just we can adjust it, just spend some time and adjust it. Just we can move it, position it properly, and then we will select the inner circle, and then we will use the arrow keys to nudge it a little bit inside, right? So we'll just keep adjusting till we are satisfied, right? So now this looks better. So we can just select the outer circle, and we can just move it a little bit outside using the arrow keys, right? So now we have properly positioned the text. Now the next step is, we will create a rounded rectangle, and we will create it exactly at the center. So something like this, and we will use the direct selection tool to make it rounded. We will create extra space for our document. We will simply activate the artboard controls. So we can use the keyboard shortcut Shift plus O, and we can just increase the space, right? So there is more space. So the next thing we'll do is, we'll just select the outer circle, and we will duplicate it. We'll use Ctrl C Ctrl F or Command C Command F. and we will center scale, and we'll create one more copy of it, and we'll just move it a little bit up, so something like this. And we'll do the same thing for the bottom circle. So we'll just create a duplicate, and then we will just increase it. We'll just scale it. Right. So the next step is we'll convert our capsule or rounded rectangle into an outline or stroke. So simply we will here click on this swap fill, right, and we can slightly increase the size of this stroke, right. And then the next step is we will put the text at the center. We'll just select a normal type tool, and what we'll do is we'll just type Shoppers Bay, right, and we'll just keep it over here. Right. Then to make it more interesting, we can do one thing. We can just select a star. We can just put a star over here. We can duplicate the star and make it small, and then we will also duplicate the same stars. And keep it on the right side. Right. So the next step we'll do is we'll just create a price tag thread. So for that, what we'll do is we will just create one circle, and we will just make it into a fill. We'll just keep it over here, and then we'll make it small. Just will nudge it, keep it at the corner, and now we will just create one ellipse which looks like an egg shape, and we will convert it into a stroke. We'll slightly increase the stroke size, and then we will just cut this. We'll just select the bottom point, and then here we have the option cut path at selected anchor points, right. So now we have cut. We'll just select the point and then delete, right. So something like this. So it looks something like this, and we will make it like a simple thread. So we can just keep it like this. And we will just drag it. We can rotate it. We'll make it small. And we will just move one of the points. So something like this. We can just adjust it properly. Something like this, right. Now this looks better. And one final thing we'll do is we'll just select the entire shape, and we can just group everything. And the next thing we'll do is we can slightly rotate it. Right. Now this looks better. We'll just do some final touches. We will ungroup the circles once, and then we'll just select these inner circles. We will just make them a little bit small, so something like this, and even this one also. Right. You can slightly move it a little bit. Right. Now this looks better. Right. Now it's time for us to save our stamp logo. So simply we'll go to File and we'll select Save As. And what we'll do is we will use a PDF format. PDF stands for Portable Document Format, and this format is a vector graphic format. So it will not have pixels. The output format will not have pixels, and we are going to get sharp edges. That is what we want. So we'll simply say Shoppers Big Logo. Right, and we will save. Right, and now we will check our output. So this is our final output. So we have created a simple stamp logo in Illustrator. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please do like, subscribe, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.